Welcome back to Retiring Today. I'm Molly Nelson here with Chawn, Honkomp, and Loren Merkle. This is a section we call Your Journey, Your Questions. We answer a question that we have received recently during our Journey to Retirement workshop. Here's one we got about Social Security. The question is, how does the Social Security planning change when your spouse is 8 years younger? My spouse does not work. Does that affect the decision that I should make? Loren, what would you say?
Well, the quick answer to that question is yes, it certainly could impact that decision. Not only the fact that your spouse doesn't work, but also that age difference. But just because your spouse isn't working right now, it doesn't mean your spouse didn't ever work. And the way Social Security works is you can become fully eligible or fully insured is what they call it for Social Security. And in order to be fully insured, you have to earn 40 credit hours over the course of your working career. So in this case, let's assume that at some point the spouse worked, but is not working right now. Based on 2024 numbers, 1 credit hour, you earn $1,730 in a year, you get 1 credit hour. So if you earn $6,920 over the course of the year, that's 4 credit hours. That's the maximum credits you can earn in 1 year. Again, it takes 40 to be fully insured. So if the spouse worked for 10 years and earned enough to be fully insured, that means that the spouse's Social Security benefit could be more than if the spouse never worked, which in that case, it might make sense to use what we call a combination strategy, where you have the bigger benefit, you delay your benefit, because yours is going to be the survivorship benefit, and your spouse take their benefit right away at first eligibility of 62. Get as much out of that benefit as you possibly can, because as soon as your spouse passes away, or actually as soon as one of you passes away, the spouse's benefit is going to be gone because the higher benefit will remain. So that's a combination strategy. Let's get as much out of that lower benefit as we possibly can. However, if the spouse never worked, then that spouse will not be eligible for a Social Security benefit until the main claimant files, and then there's a spousal benefit eligibility. So it wouldn't make any sense for the spouse to claim the benefit until the main earner claims their benefit, and then there's some eligibility. So I hope that's really clear. There's a lot going on there, and that's not where it stops. And this is why we say, if you're a married couple, you have up to 81 different options when it comes time to elect your Social Security benefit. We just covered 2 out of all of those different options. This is why we have to have an intentional Social Security plan that accounts for your specific situation, because as we know, everybody's situation is different, which would lead to different decisions.
That really actually was a very good explanation. And whether you followed it, to a T or not, I think the takeaway, Chawn, is that Social Security can be more complex, I think, sometimes than people realize.
There's a lot of moving pieces to it. And just in a visit this week, the first time we met with a couple, the husband asked me, he said, well, was there pretty much a standard guidance that you provide with Social Security? And I think my instant reaction was just to smile and chuckle a little bit, because there's clearly not. As we build retirement plans, we never want to follow the rules of thumb or these averages. And we just had that conversation around, no, there is no standard. I mean, we know it's anywhere between 62 and 70. It depends if you're single or married. It depends on your working history, how much you earn during that time frame. We got to look at your health factors as we go to make that decision. We got to look at the conditions of the markets at the time you have an opportunity to make a Social Security decision. But at the end of the day, you want to maximize Social Security. You want to get out as much as you can, but that's where we need that plan, because getting as much as you can doesn't mean start it at 62. Because if we're going to live a long time, we know there's a benefit to waiting later and letting that benefit increase. So we need to have that plan to make sure at the end of the day, when you go to make your Social Security decision, you're going to feel really good and confident about the decision you make.
We mentioned that this question came in during our online Journey to Retirement workshop. So there's a couple in that workshop, and they have to make this Social Security decision. And you guys, the retirement planners in the workshop, you often take that Social Security and you show 3 different options for John and Sue. And it's pretty eye-opening, because there's a big difference between option 1 and option 3.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. In fact, to the tune of $93,000 difference between option 1 and option 3. Now, John and Sue in this online Journey to Retirement workshop, they're going to choose the option that provides the optimal Social Security and retirement planning benefit to them. And so in this workshop, we show you what that is, but more importantly, we show you how they arrive at that decision, because your decision might be different than John and Sue, but you can use the methodology and the planning knowledge to help you identify what is going to be the best for you.